Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Sonia Shrivastava.
And I'm Byron Scott. Thank you for joining us tonight.
A political and legal bombshell from the U.S. Justice Department today. The Deputy U.S. Attorney General has announced the indictment of 12 Russian intelligence agents for interfering in the 2016 elections. Rod Rosenstein says the agents hacked computers of the Hillary Clinton presidential campaign as well as the National Committee.
The defendants covertly monitored the computers, implanted hundreds of files containing malicious computer code, and stole emails and other documents.
Rosenstein says the 12 agents are members of an intelligence unit of the Russian military.
The Prince George's County School Board has voted to approve a hefty severance package for former school's CEO Kevin Maxwell, whose last day was yesterday. He'll receive a payout of nearly $800,000. The amount covers the remaining 3 years of his contract and other items. Some on the board opposed the payout, saying it was a waste of tax dollars. The county's teachers union also opposes that deal.
Well, I'm very disturbed about him receiving the $780,000 severance, because this concept of a transition was a made-up term. They made it up so that they could get past the primary election day, and there's nothing in his contract that says anything about a transition time for him to resign. He resigned on television. He sent out a letter to all of the members of the staff in the school system saying he was resigning. When you resign, you don't get a severance.
Meantime, school board member Edward Burroughs says board chair Segun Eubanks attacked him and threatened to, quote, F him up following that board meeting last night. Now, Burroughs has filed assault charges against Eubanks, who has not been available, for comment. Meantime, the board picks the new person to head the school system. Deputy Superintendent Dr. Monica Golson will serve as acting CEO. We spoke with one resident who chose not to be on camera. She had some harsh words for Dr. Maxwell.
All that I can say is that you should petition that he does not get that severance pay, because that should be reparation back into the system and to teachers' salaries, because they're the ones that are there working directly with the students. He is not, and he is so far removed from reality when it comes to education, and that's a real shame.
Dr. Golson will oversee preparations for the 2018-2019 school year.
Activist groups and Maryland gubernatorial candidate Ben Jealous again sound off against President Trump's Supreme Court pick, Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Now, Jealous joined Delegate Jocelyn Pena-Melnick today, calling on Governor Larry Hogan to stand up against Kavanaugh's nomination. Pena-Melnick notes that Maryland's population is 52% female and that Kavanaugh's views don't support women's rights. Meantime, the U.S. Senate unanimously passes a resolution honoring the 5 victims in the deadly shooting at the Capital Gazette newspaper. The resolution also recognizes the survivors and the first responders that rushed to the scene in Annapolis. Senator Ben Cardin spoke on the Senate floor, calling on lawmakers on both sides of the aisle to pass tougher gun laws.
We must act now to address the epidemic of gun violence in this country. Let's reinstate the assault weapon ban now. We can ban bump stocks now. Let us assure that all gun purchases have completed background checks. Madam President, I understand that the weapon that was used in the Annapolis shooting was a shotgun. It would not have been covered under these new laws. But the fact remains that if we pass sensible gun safety laws, we will save lives. I do want to say clearly that doing something does not mean arming educators or bringing more guns into our schools. Teachers are hired to teach, not to be security guards.
Now, that resolution was sponsored by all 100 senators.